Welcome to Coffee and Cannabis. I'm your host, Alyza, and this is
Corey. What up?
And today we got for you Sativa Poppy. Yes. Thank you. Your real name is Andrew. We won't give you the N government, but he goes by Sativa Poppy, and he's got an incredible story. We're going to get into it, but as you guys know, starting off with our coffee, we got our good neighbors over at K1 Grocer, okay?
The bodega.
Corner of Congress and Palisades. This is a free commercial for my homies because this is the local bodega. So when you come around here, you come into the other side, you buy your product and go right next door, mess with the homies, support the business, shop local. You know how we do.
They have rubber bands too. My hair was looking a little crazy before I came in here and I had to pop in there to get rubber bands.
Did you for real buy rubber bands?
Seriously.
See, and you were looking for rubber. That's so crazy you say that.
I went in there today and bought rubber bands. They had rubber bands.
Yeah, they have rubber bands.
What?
I literally went in there.
And one day they sold two. What color are they?
Black. They were on the wall, like right by the register, right
yes,
there on the wall to the left. Yeah.
Two.
See that, Kenny? Business. Not even
we bring in the business.
Listen,
rubber bands.
They support us, okay? I literally put into the GPS, where's the closest beauty supply store? And then I saw this little place on the corner. I was like, before I leave,
there we go.
Let me go check this spot out and see if it had it. And guess what? It had me covered.
Boom.
So thank you, okay?
K1 Grocer. And for years, in Jersey City, I drive around and always pass it. And I never knew what the K1 was for, but now we, this is our neighbor, so we know his name is Kenny. Mm-hmm. So put some respect on his name. Big K1, Kenny 1 coming through on Palisades.
Kenny be holding us down. Let's go.
That's my guy.
So we're drinking K1.
Yes.
K1.
Smoking powdered donuts. Get it? Coffee donuts. That's really the name of the strain, right? So this powdered donuts, testing real heavy, going good with the coffee. We're going to see how Alyza makes it through the broadcast.
This one is the same too?
Yeah. No, this is powdered donuts. Have fun. Just a little something.
Everybody like, look at the girl. She's so faded. Fuck you.
Well, I had already brought the powdered donuts, and then Poppy brought the powdered donuts. So it was like, well, we gotta.
It's a good choice.
All right.
It's a good strain.
I was supposed to get Caesar, but
All right. So let's get into it.
Talk to me.
We're gonna start off. You work right now as a manager of a dispensary.
Actually, I'm a director.
Director of a dispensary.
I'm a
Director.
Store
director.
There's levels to this.
Okay, my bad.
Okay.
Yep.
I
put
was
some
a
stain on your
manager
name.
before, and I put the work in, and now I'm director level. So.
We can even go into what that breakdown of like in MSOs, how those levels, because MSOs do have very interesting tiers of leadership. I know.
Yeah, and they're all different. And even within the company, you could be in the same company, and the retail side is completely different than the operation side.
It's completely different.
Yeah, so where they put director levels within a company could be different. Like you could be a store director over one whole dispensary, the full operation, all day, every day of it, and you own that store. But then on the ops side, we have ops managers, and then you have a market director. Because also operations doesn't run 24/7. It runs 9 to 5, 5 days a week. So, you can have a director over the whole market, but with the sheer amount of hours and movement and people coming and going and income also coming in and out of a MSO level dispensary, that person would be a director for them.
Okay, so basically, you telling me you big man on campus. All right, I got it. I got it.
I'm the highest in the room.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
I love it. Black excellence. So, but before we get into cannabis, I want to go back. I want to know a little bit about you. Tell me, what did you used to do before cannabis? Like, what got you into it? Because something that we like to share on this show is, really teaching people different career pathways. It's not all about getting a license and own. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could make a great living in cannabis doing any job. So, give us a little bit of the steps.
So, just to jump in of how I started cannabis, I didn't even know there were dispensaries in Jersey. I was born in Jersey, but I didn't grow up here. So I only got back here like after I graduated college. I started working, things like that. But actually, one of my friends, he had cancer. And his first dispensary is how I realized there were dispensaries. And he asked me, he was like, hey, can you drive me to my dispensary? I'm just not feeling good today. And that was my whole way. I discovered a dispensary. And, I actually snuck my way into a dispensary because I was going through a lawsuit with my job I was leaving. Long story. And then I sat in the parking lot of the first MSO I worked for, and I'm watching people run out with these little white bags, and they're just like happy as shit. And I'm like, yo, I'm sitting here in the parking lot like, what the fuck's going on in there? And
Why are they so happy?
Why are they so happy? So then I realized, this is the dispensary he goes to, and I can't go in because I don't have a medical card at the time.
Yeah.
This is before it was like legal in Jersey.
Yeah.
So I call inside and I'm like, hey, I have an interview. And they're like, with who? And I was like, I don't remember her name. It was some recruiting lady from talent acquisition.
Wait. This is at the same time?
No, this is him sneaking into the dispensary.
This is me sneaking into the
because
dispensary.
you don't have a med card.
Yeah, because I don't have a med card.
You wanted to go in that bad? You're like,
really-
no, everyone is happy. I need to know what the fuck is going on in there.
That's some FOMO shit. I need to know what they got going
I have
on.
an interview.
So I call it.
That was genius on the spot.
So I tell them that, the recruiting lady, I accidentally deleted her email and I don't have it. So they don't let me into the damn dispensary. They just give me her email and her number. So what do?
Call back.
I apply.
Oh, so you did apply.
And then I call her and I'm like, hey, someone from the dispensary said that you're looking for a manager and they told me to send you my resume. So I sent her my resume. I have a really good resume. I have a luxury retail background. I've worked with Burberry, Coach, Michael Kors.
Oh, okay.
So, I can sell anything. I'm Jamaican. Let's be real. So after
And
seeing
ganja?
that, oh, come on.
This is a win-win.
It's a win-win. So after that, they were like, come on in for an interview. And I was like, I already got a couple job offers. I don't have time to like go through this like week 1 interview, week 2, week 3. I'm like, can you set all the interviews for one day? They did it. I had a 2.5 hour interview with 6 different people. And they went on teams like 30 minutes back to back to back to back.
That's a wild ask.
And yeah, I asked them and they fulfilled the ask. I got hired the next week.
Clearly you had a great resume.
Had a pretty good resume.
Yeah.
And the finesse, the charisma, the character, the interaction, undeniable.
He's like, I could sell anything.
I'm my best product. I'm not afraid to say I'm my biggest fan. I know what I've been through. I know what I had to work to get here. And again, like you said, you can live a fantastic life in cannabis. If they can go look at the Sativa Poppy, I'm on Instagram. I'm on vacation every month at this point. 2 weeks ago, I was in Miami. 3 weeks ago, I was in Bahamas? 4 weeks ago, I was in Bahamas. 5 weeks ago, I was Colombia, Puerto Rico. I don't even remember at this point. But guess what? Next week, I'm in Jamaica. So
good
you
money
can make a great life in cannabis.
Yeah.
I think that's an important part, though,
doing what you
because,
love.
and granted, I played both sides of this fence in the sense of I work in cannabis already on the MSO side, but we're also going to own our own thing. And I know everyone just, when they think, I need to own something. I need to be the grower. I need to be this. And it's like, no, cannabis people is making money. Fun fact, most of these cannabis companies are publicly traded on Canadian stock exchanges, and their whole C-suite and executive board, it is public record how much they make. Just saying.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shit,
Freebie.
some of ours make them $1.2 million a year for salary. Oh yeah, yeah. If you were publicly traded, the C-suite take home
Big bag.
is public record. You can Google this.
Down.
Yeah. You see, we get free
I'm me.
game, gems, IP, all the things.
So,
You're welcome.
because I often talk about what it's like working in the MSO side, but I'm saying that mostly from an ops side. What is the normal day of like someone over a dispensary? What is your normal day?
Wild.
Yeah.
My days are wild. Like, anything can happen in a dispensary, okay? Like, anything. From the second the doors open till the moment them doors close, like, no day has been the same. Like, every day's crazy. It may be a calm, light day. It may be a wild day where, like, you on the phone with HR 5 times a day. You're going back and forth with corporate, or, like, you told somebody they can't sit in the front and now they're crying outside.
That did happen.
Like this is also something that I think that I've never encountered at any other job that I encounter at this one. People cry a lot, and I'm not like a good person like with emotions
on retail. People cry a lot.
Yeah, on retail, yes, on retail people cry a lot. I mean,
Corey's like not on my side.
Yeah,
We'll play that shit.
I think we are a little softer on retail because like there's a human aspect,
yes,
you know, and it's because I serve to both a medical community and I serve to recreational community as well. So when you're serving medical patients, you know, there's a compassion aspect that comes along with it. You know, you got to be cognizant. You know, you may have a terminal cancer patient and you seeing them one day, and then you might not see them again.
Right.
And you see these things like on their profile, like they tell you whatever their qualifying conditions are, and you know. You got to click into another tab to see, but like sometimes I'd be wondering, you know, I had a guy who used to come in and he would just start giving everybody $2 bills. And he was just like, I'm like, why is he giving everybody $2 bills? We didn't see him weeks after that. He took all his money out, put it in $2 bills, and he said he gave one to every single person that he encountered. That was his last blessing to the world, and that was like something he wanted to give. But like it's so many stories and things that I could tell you about working at a dispensary that is just has been unlike anywhere else. Like one day, one of my employees came up to me and was like, someone left you a bag of diamonds at the front. Like, what? They're like, someone left you a note and a bag of diamonds.
That's a little scary.
One anthrax bag later.
I'm like, yeah, I don't want
it was diamonds. A customer. Yeah. And she, one of my medical customers. And she used to always tell me stories about she used to mine diamonds.
These are conflict diamonds.
No, they came from New York, Herkimer diamonds. They were a specific type of diamonds, only from New York.
Oh, I used to work at Herkimer.
Oh, that's you know about Herkimer diamonds?
No, but the facility I used to run was up in Utica, but on the city line of Utica and Herkimer. And it's Herkimer County.
Nice. So, but she mined the diamonds, and she would always leave me crystals because like I'm a spiritual person. I have carnelian. I have a ring here.
Fucking another one. I always talk about how you fucking
another one.
Yeah,
I'm protected. Yep. I'm blessed. Yes, I'm healed. Mm-hmm. Me and the universe got something special going on.
Talk that talk.
Touchy, feely, fuzzy motherfuckers.
Yep.
And also, I'm a Leo. Shout out to all the Leos.
The high vibes.
What's your sign?
Shout out the Leos. My baby is a Leo. Shout out my baby. She is a star.
Go.
I'm lying.
August, July.
August.
August
14th.
Ooh, she fiery. I like it. I like it.
Star, right?
She is a star.
Star.
Absolute star.
She's already been in print.
Yeah, no, like easy.
Yes.
Like they better watch out for her.
So
she everywhere.
Shout out to my baby. We call her Jet Set Orbs because she's. Yeah, I move around a lot. And she been rocking with me. Oh, I love it.
Big Leo.
I love it.
Big Leo. The biggest Leo.
I see it. I see that Leo energy, but I love it. I love the confidence. It's necessary.
It is.
You see how you're winning in life? No distractions. I'm my own. It's me versus me.
I'm my only competition.
That's it. I love it.
And the second I realize that is when I start to be really successful.
There you go.
That's it.
It's only me. I'm the only one in my lane.
Yep.
So
that's clear.
So talking successes though, because this is the shit I like to talk about, especially the retail. Let's see things that have happened in MSO retail world. Someone defecate in the store.
Oh yes,
customer.
I was there that day.
Disgusting.
And like fell right there on the floor. One of my first weeks at another dispensary I was working at for MSO, as soon as I walked in, this was like within my first hour, this lady pees on herself at the register. She runs down the hallway and runs to the bathroom, okay? And then she runs out. So now there's just a trail of pee. It was through the entire store, front to back. And we didn't have janitors at that point, so guess who had to grab a mop and a bucket?
Mop that shit up.
Like when I was a general manager at a dispensary, that general was real general.
Yeah, it was everything.
There was some things that just had to be done, but like defecating inside the store, that is a common occurrence. That happens more times than you would think.
You'd think you wouldn't have to deal with that at all, if not more than once.
Yeah, right.
Don't
definitely
break-ins. That happens in ours.
Definitely have your
break-ins.
Oh, the break-ins. Yeah,
Always a
let's talk
break-in.
about that. As a director, how do you deal with that? Like, they call you and they're like, yo, somebody broke in.
Well, again, about that lovely dispensary life. I was actually on vacation when it happened.
Oh, damn.
And it luckily wasn't my location, so I didn't have to directly deal with those crazy things.
Oh, thank
so
goodness.
I did hear the aftermath, and it's crazy that people, target us cannabis workers, and, hopefully everyone just kind of leaves dispensaries alone,
Yeah.
I don't, it's just not a good look on either side to like rob a dispensary or be a dispensary getting robbed.
Yeah.
I think that, just leave those things alone. Don't add to the stigma,
Yeah.
Keep away from the stigma.
The other thing is, you're not going to get shit.
That too.
It is a federally controlled product that, yes, the state is making legal. It's still a class 1 narcotic. Like, the shit is in a vault.
Yep.
And
during all,
heavily secured vault.
Heavily secured vault, like a very serious vault. Trust me, we're about to buy one for in the corner right behind Alyza. And you break in at night, all the shit is either strapped down, fake, because a lot of product you see on the floor is fake product.
Yep.
Right? Instead of putting distillate in the syringe, in those
Honey.
vapes, it's honey. Yeah, like use hemp instead of weed inside of the little display thing. Like, you're not getting real product.
Yep.
And all the real product's in a vault. So
And
you just
tracked.
Yeah, and there's a
And
lot
tracked.
of cameras.
Yeah.
A lot of fucking cameras. So it's like, fam, you just giving somebody a headache.
Yep.
Like, if that's
Basically.
if you're on some Viva Revolution shit, go ahead, break the window of the dispensary. If you actually trying to steal some shit, that's not where you're gonna get it.
It's not worth it.
That's not where it's at. You will literally. This was the robbery right before you switched.
Yeah.
They robbed the store. They broke in. We're watching on camera. They break in, go through the store. They hop to the POS. Nothing's there. They sit there for a minute like, where's the weed?
There's no money, no weed, no
money
anything.
or weed out. And then they stole the receipt paper.
What?
The paper, like
In the roll-
the rolls of receipt paper. They stole a couple rolls of receipt paper and went back out. And I was like, all you did was cause my facility manager to have to now fix that window you broke.
Yeah.
That was one of the competitors, so they wanted our receipt paper.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
You can't have a receipt paper. You got to buy yours.
We won't tell you.
Yeah. Alibaba, like everybody. No, that's how stupid. Yeah, that's why I try to tell people, like, yeah, there's having a dispensary is like a mom and pop shop, and like I said, I've already put this out there. If you own a dispensary, you're gonna get broken into within the first year. It's guaranteed. Somebody gonna test your dispensary. I've already told them what will happen, but somebody will. It's different when it's the
Don't do it.
MSO shit. When it's like you have a security contract. And so the security company's calling you, the police department's calling you because they showed up because the alarm went off, and now it becomes like a whole. It's like fam, and then of course the defecation and the sad stories with the med patient shit is wild though too.
Yeah,
the because you're serving the medicine, knowing that someone has a reason for having it, and
Absolutely.
all that goes.
Shout out to everybody who does it recreationally, but there are really people who do need cannabis. I see the difference.
Yep.
That cannabis makes, like when people have it and when people don't. When that allotment runs out and someone needs something, you know it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, we got to hop on the phone with their doctor. They need an extension. They need something. But thankfully, it's recreational now, and I can't say how many times people have ran out of allotment, but I'm like, it's okay. We can still sell to you recreationally now. And I'm grateful for New Jersey finally catching up, and I just hope that the rules, regulations, the compliance, like it loosens up to make it easier accessible to the people who do need it.
Oh, that's definitely big.
Yeah, the med program doesn't get as much love as it needs.
Yeah.
It was like, now it's not that shiny thing anymore.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because there are really people who need it. Like,
Yeah, I think the problem with that is, I think as markets go rec, some people don't understand the difference of the rec market and the med market. Especially people that are actual med patients, right? So they go, I spent whatever amount of money with the state and my doctor to have and maintain a medical card. And they're like, oh, well, it's rec now. Why do I need to do that? Well, one, you don't pay taxes on the medical side.
Yep.
And in the way, at least New Jersey state laws, any product in that store that's sold rec, whatever, has to legally also be available on the med side. So even if they have to take a rec product, convert it back over to med to sell it to you in a medical form, they have to do that. Which, yet again, ain't no taxes on it. So if you buy enough weed, like, do your math. Figure out how much weed you buy in a year from the dispensary. Do what the taxes on that would be. And I'm probably sure, very easily, you will beat out the cost of what it costs for a med card.
Yeah.
The taxes alone can save your life. If you're an every week buyer weed, you are going over that $200 it costs to get a medical card.
Yep.
Because the taxes is real.
And that also depends on which municipality you're shopping in.
Yeah.
Because one may be cheaper and one may be way higher taxed.
So remember that when you pick your dispensary.
Yep.
So I think that's a problem with, like, in Jersey, we're seeing the med market drop double-digit % every month.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, those med patients still exist. I think they don't understand what the benefit of it is, right? Yeah. It's to like, if you really need it, to take that cost, that burden of at least the tax amount off of you.
Right.
So it's different. Let's get back. You have an interesting birth, upbringing, all of that. It's like you have an interesting start, but it's like, so give us that a little bit. You're the parent. You're the son of.
So my mom is from London, and my dad is from Jamaica.
Okay.
But although my mom is from London, both of her parents are from Jamaica. Let's mix it up. There are Jamaicans.
So she's a British Jamaican.
She's a British Jamaican.
That meets a straight up Jamaican.
Meets a straight up Jamaican.
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey. Yes.
Melting pot.
My parents, like, they came here legally, as a lot of people do.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to all the immigrants. Thank you, USA. Yes. This is what the country was for.
And not all Mexican.
Yep.
Not all Mexican.
Or Central American. See?
Yeah.
A lot of illegal immigrants up in here.
So, came here illegally, and while doing an illegal search of Social Security cards and other documents you need to be part of, my parents met. And from that, here I am.
They
met trying to run after the American dream.
Running after the American dream, and the true American dream came, and I was born. And
your dad was like, I'm Jamaican. We having a kid, right?
Absolutely. I was actually the second one. I have an older sister. But after that, out to London. That was my first flight. Mom took me back to London, there. But then after that, I was back in Jamaica with Dad.
Mm-hmm. Well, did they split up?
Yes, they split up.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so they both went back to their respective first countries.
Yes, they went back to their countries. Well, Dad stayed in Jersey, actually, and then I ended up with his mom. And, shout out to Grandma. Shout out to all the grandma lovers out there. Because, I'm team Grandma.
Yes,
like,
my grandma is my dog.
I was raised by mine most of my life, too.
Wow, see, that's amazing. Like, and that's also, like, a lot of my business mindset and business savvy I get from my grandma. She ran hair salons throughout Ocherius in Jamaica. And she's, like, in all the best 5-star resorts and stuff. Like, growing up, like, my grandma had money. Like, there were people who, like, made my bed in the morning or made me breakfast or, like, watched me and my cousins. Like, that's crazy. Like, y'all know, like, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
Yes.
I actually call it,
Yeah, that was me and my cousin's life. But on a resort in Jamaica.
Wow.
That's wild.
That's dope.
So was it the same like that when you was back in London, though? Or was that a shock every time?
No, it's a shock every time. No.
Like,
London.
You have to make up the bed.
Like that.
And where are the servants? where? Excuse me.
Yeah,
concierge.
Like, my grandma has armed guards that sit outside and, like, guard her house at night, and I'm like, yo, this is normal for me growing up as, like, a kid in Jamaica.
Nobody would have guessed you had that life in Jamaica.
I know, right?
Not London.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's completely different.
So what happened when you were in London?
There's nothing going on in London. London
just you and your mom?
Yeah, it's my mom has a brother out there.
Okay.
And that's it. It's just her brother there.
So you didn't love it?
No, it just rains. Wow. The weather's not that great. The food's not that good.
I didn't live there, but the times I've been there, it's not my favorite city at all. It wouldn't make my top
there's
10.
a lot of other better cities to go to. Like, I've been around the world. Like, When I was 15, I ran away and ended up in Israel. Tel Aviv is a fantastic city.
Pause. Flag on the plate, goddamn.
Did you say 15?
You can't say I ran away at 15.
In Israel?
Ended up in Israel.
Yeah.
By the way, Tel Aviv, wonderful. No, motherfucker. Well, how the hell did you end up in Israel? Where'd you run away from?
The country?
Maryland.
The country.
How do you run away in Maryland and end up
It's
in...
got to be the country. It's not anything else,
Israel.
right?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
15?
15, yes. When I was 15, I was in high school in Randallstown. This is in Maryland. I also have a scholarship that I give out. We can talk about that later. But I was at Randallstown, and there was this program called the ECYP, Elijah Cummings Youth Program, okay? And it's like 20,000 different kids will like apply to like get into this lottery. And you get into this lottery basically, and it's like an exchange program, except nobody comes back. They just ship like 10 of you teens from Baltimore, Maryland out to live in Israel. They spend like $149,000 per like kid and send them out to Israel. And like I was out in Israel. Like I'm talking, I was riding camels. I was in the desert. I was in the Dead Sea. I was in Jerusalem. I was in Tel Aviv. Like I was in hotels. I was in hostels. I was everywhere. Yeah, at 15. Yeah. It's kind of wild. I'll show y'all pictures, videos. It's crazy. Yeah. So out of all these people that apply to this program, that's
nuts.
That is nuts.
So how long were you there?
like 2 months.
Okay.
That's wild, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just come back to Maryland?
And then you just come back to Maryland. But it's like crazy. It's like a 2-year program of like them, like 1 year, I think, of them preparing you to like go to Israel.
Yeah.
Like what you're going to encounter over there, who's going to be like who. They like gave us all like mini assignments, I think.
Is there any like oversight?
Yo, this is some undercover CIA shit.
Yeah, like is somebody
No,
watching
it's not,
y'all
it's not.
and like making sure y'all be,
I know a Fed program when I see one.
We there was someone supervising us, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But
So
you felt like you had a lot of freedom.
it sounded like you did.
I didn't have too much freedom, but I had freedom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I could move
interesting.
around.
You was just a badass kid. That's what that meant.
Yeah.
Nah, the finesse and the charisma.
Yeah, that's called bad when you're a kid.
Yes. Yeah.
As someone that has a badass 3-year-old, I know bad when I see it. So that's what. So you come back. Mm-hmm. You go to college.
Yep, Orlando.
Now that's a fun city. And we're not talking about Disney World.
Oh man,
I done been on with an Orange Blossom Trail. I know.
Oh boy.
Oh,
You know about
OBC, OBC.
I've been on Orange Blossom Trail.
Yes.
But yeah. So, but you went to school for
Film and TV production.
Film and TV.
Yes.
and somewhere in the midst of doing all that, you ended up in luxury retail.
I ended up in luxury retail.
Yeah. How'd you flip that?
I always loved commercials, advertising. And so along with advertising is sales, you know? It's just selling it visually on TV. And I just wanted to dive a little deeper and kind of got wrapped into having student loans, number one.
That part.
Okay. And having Caribbean parents that want you to get your life together ASAP. And was like, let me just hop into the local Short Hills Mall.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the bougie mall.
That's the
mall.
bougie mall right there. And listen, I made it happen.
No, that's dope. That's definitely dope. You know, my main point bringing you on is also one to show people how you can pivot from sales to sales, right?
Sales to sales.
And trust me, if you saw the markup and taxes on cannabis, you would think of it as a luxury product. That's the other part.
It is.
It's a highly controlled product that has to be put in vaults and has armed guards at the facilities. And that's a luxury product. But that one, you could pivot and go from that luxury product side over to cannabis and continue to have success and grow. But also that there's people of color in these positions. Like, you know, I'm switching from one company to another for a VP role. You're a director of a very highly profitable, high traffic store, right, in a exciting new market that's really going. People of color, right? And there's different ways to get there. Mine was more, I'm an engineer, I run facilities, I run now cannabis facilities. But your pivot and switch that, like, you don't have to necessarily have built your whole life career to get to this role.
Yeah.
No.
Sometimes
You can jump over.
Get into the role and be very good at it, right? And then, you've done it at multiple MSOs as similar to myself.
Right.
So it's like there is space for black and brown folks to be
There is.
successful and to have these roles in the cannabis industry. If you just got to take that risk to switch over and do it and prove yourself. But the opportunity is there for us, and like we've been saying, to make a very good income. You don't have to own. I know that's weird because I'm own something, but I also was in the industry for years before I decided to own something.
Yeah.
But there's multiple ways to make a very good bag.
Yes.
We've been paying my bills for years at this point. So you don't have to.
6 figures easily.
Yeah, I don't know what
That
you're
needs to
talking
be a hashtag.
What?
Weed pays my bills.
about. I've told people that plenty of times. Oh, you
Like,
need weed.
I want a
Listen,
sticker
all
of that. Make that happen and send me
Yeah.
one, okay?
Weed pays my bills.
There's my what's the name? My agent right there.
Let's put that into work, okay?
I
don't
got
even
you.
want profits off it when
He
it
said,
sells.
"We
Just
pays
send
the
me a
bills."
few, okay?
Right,
I got you. Listen, I want to know, how can we, speaking of, because Corey is right? It's not all about, and we do want people to own. Like, that's a big part of this conversation. However, it doesn't always have to be that. And it is difficult to own, right? It's
is.
a lot of money. You need teams, you need skills, you need investors. It's not an easy task. But that doesn't mean that there still shouldn't be more of us in cannabis, right?
Correct.
So I have 2 questions, but the first one, I just want to be very transparent. And this is for the both of you, honestly, since you both have been in the MSO space. And people, it's a very common conversation of, I hate the MSOs, right? I'm just being real. I'm just speaking the real shit. That's how people feel. I personally don't feel that way because I understand how markets develop, and they were necessary. All that big money of lobbying and stuff, they went and did that work for us.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
the
got money
reason
for
the laws
that.
are the way they are.
I could barely lobby in my own city to try to get a license. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big task. But when Corey says there's room for us here, is that really true? Do you see people actually getting hired there? Sometimes, all right, let me take it back. Tech. That used to be a big conversation, like there's not a lot of minorities, there's not a lot of women. And when big groups went to Silicon Valley and said, why do your companies look like this? They said, oh, we can't find them, right? And then the data started to come out, and now it was like, no, here they are. And then that's where the existence of like the Afro techs and the stuff like that started to come up. They're like, look at all these black professionals who can be in tech. Do you feel like that's happening here? Are they really giving us a shot for real, for real?
They are 1,000% giving us a shot.
Okay.
They really are.
Y'all standing on that.
At my first MSO, I think the township had to pay like 30% of your employees had to be from that town.
Okay.
And that immediate town was Paterson, New Jersey.
Oh, right. you was gonna find minorities.
And they were, and a lot of the management are Black and Hispanic women that are killing it in some of these dispensaries.
I'm not surprised.
Like, if you stop by your local Patterson dispensary, there are Black and Spanish women really killing it. And there's a lot of women running these businesses too.
Yes.
So there is a space for that. And then also, I know it's a lot of companies' initiatives to get more Black people into corporate by like their next year.
Okay.
And even me, myself, I'm in a high position myself, you know.
Right.
It took work to get here, but they are giving us a space. And I have a special role because it's the first role that it is. And you know, the first role, you're putting a Black person into that role. And guess what? I'm in the building now, so we absolutely giving us a space.
Right.
My first hire was a Black woman.
Yeah, you keeping the door open.
My first hire, Black woman.
Yep.
My second hire was a Black man. You know, it wasn't, racially chosen that way, but
they were great candidates.
They were great candidates.
Yes.
They put the work in, they applied, they interviewed. They're amazing candidates, okay? more of us are in the room now.
Yep.
More of us are going to be promoted. And I shine the light on every single black person that I can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Always.
And listen, I'm not going to say on the operation side or the sides I've seen working for a couple different companies, it's, stand out, amazing. But there are opportunities. I've seen more opportunities in the cannabis space than I have in the non-cannabis space because I worked in other spaces before coming to cannabis.
Yeah.
There's more of us in the room in cannabis than I've seen in those other ones. Some of that is because of how established the industry is. This is a new, unestablished industry. So you take whatever talent you can get. You're out there just hiring talent.
Yeah.
Where I think a lot of older industries that are already pre-built right now already have the nepotism and all that built into it, right? Where cannabis, everyone's a first-time owner, second,
right.
like everybody's new.
Right.
So it's how do I get the best talent? And I think that has allowed for a lot of black and brown people to get opportunity where in other industries they already had hit their glass ceiling proverbially or just not getting hired at all.
Right.
So owning, completely different thing.
Yeah.
Owning was, were you rich ahead of time to have the money to do this? But I think sub-owners, definitely more than a lot of other industries.
Well, I just think that that's important to keep this as a part of the conversation because what we're doing, like we always have the conversation about generational wealth, but that's a route to that as well. And it's going to be important because like a few people owning a dispensary, and even like we went on the mission of having all minority investors, right? So that is very intentional. Yeah. So that's maybe 10 more people that now have that. But in a dispensary, there's many people that work there. And if you have a large amount of, or a high amount of executive level roles, it's like there are more people that you're putting a pretty large bag in their pocket for them to continue to do things. And even if they take that money and then go do their own shit somewhere else, like that's a part of this wealth gap. And I think we should give some credit to that. But that's why I ask you guys, like, do you really see it happening?
Yeah, no, it's there.
I see it. It's there. There's a room for us.
I think the other piece of it is that I think sometimes people don't have the confidence to try to enter the space either. It's like,
I've had many people reach out to me, yo, how do I get it? It's like, fam, just apply. It's no different. Like, I've literally had people hit me up on LinkedIn, and they're like, I'm trying to get into cannabis, but I don't know how to get in. So I look at their LinkedIn profile that basically is their resume, and I'm like, in cannabis, you would be this, right? Yeah. So it might be... in cannabis, you might be a communities relations person, like if you're already doing political work and working with a mayor's office or something. Or you might, be able to be compliance person because you come from that technical writing, compliance, auditing background. Yeah,
give us some more transferable skills. I think that's a good thing for them to get.
I'm saying retail is retail. Ops Joes are ops. If you're in a quality role at some other place, do quality in weed. There's plenty of quality. Obviously, cultivation. Most people come from some farming, agronomy, horticulture background on the cultivation side. And then
that's an easy one.
Yeah, but like it's still a store, right? It's still a store and a factory at some point. So all of those roles are transferable. They're all corporate jobs because these are big companies. We're talking about MSOs.
Yep.
So they got HR, legal counsel, this person, that person, like the amount of corporate people. I'm not allowed to talk. I can't talk about how my feelings about corporate. But the jobs are there. The opportunities are there. Yeah. Obviously, the social interaction, DEI roles, because cannabis is probably more forward in that space than a lot of companies, except ones that have like endowments and shit like that. But yeah, there's a job for you in cannabis. Like, even from a beverage side, like, a lot of the companies make seltzers, make their own infused drinks. They're running beverage lines. The market is there for everybody.
So if you had to give out some game to people and tell them what you think they could do to try to make the plays, like you was moving, obviously you were hustling and doing a great job and continuing to perform. What are some tips that you would give people?
Apply. Stop by a dispensary, see how it works, See if you could really handle like the pressure they go through. First off, because dispensary workers work so hard. There are the days where it's lax and it's fun. I know everybody thinks all we do is like lay around and get high.
We work in weed and we're
but
high.
We get high, but we're also professional, okay? And I had a customer come and talk to me about that one day because she was like, "Oh, I feel bad about like smoking," and I was like, "Yo, it's okay that you smoke." I was like, you smoke, you go to work, right? I smoke, I go to work. I was like, how many times you come and shop and you see all these people here at work?
Right.
And I was like, they're all professional. I
Right.
was just like, it's work. You can get high and work.
People forget that.
Yeah, like
Oh my God, people forget
sometimes
that.
you work better when you're high.
That's a fact.
Facts.
I work so much
Yeah.
better when
Like, weed is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that brings people together like weed. I love when people ask me, who shops at your dispensary?
I was about to say that. Everyone,
everyone.
Everybody.
Yep.
every ethnicity,
Everything. Every age.
Yep.
every age. It's some people that
Yep.
walked in there. I was like, no way.
Yep.
It's people from other countries I did not even know existed coming in there with passports. Like, where is this? What ID is this?
Yeah.
Calling the CRC. Do we take this ID?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, the ones I find funny, like when you see the doctors come in and they scrubs during I guess they break or whatever.
The amount of medical
Officers.
people,
Yeah. No, a lot of y'all doctors are smoking weed.
a lot of
But
the
they deserve it because
medical.
they be going through bad pressure.
Yeah.
I know that's a fact.
But yeah, all of them is at the dispensary. Like yeah,
Everybody shops at the dispensary. Everybody.
it's. I think I've called you Alyza and it was like you wouldn't imagine motherfuckers that just walked in front of you at the dispensary. You just be like, there's no way they be buying the shit up.
Yes.
And be
Yes.
like, oh y'all getting lit? This
Yeah.
week? Like, oh okay, y'all lit.
Yep.
All right.
Yo, weed is the great unifier.
I seen somebody
Listen.
buy 5
Yep.
bags of edibles in one shot. Like, back that up.
Somebody's grandma will buy that.
Yeah, that's nothing. I'm telling people be popping these eddies.
My favorite thing is the multiple time a dayers. It's like why
oh,
you ain't,
word?
why you ain't buy everything in the morning? Did I need to see you at breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And also, why am I working breakfast, lunch, and dinner? But I saw you 3 times today, and it's like you really build a bond with these people.
Yeah.
Like they get real protective over people. Like really protect. You get attached to customers. You do. Like I got.
Wow.
Don't talk crazy to a customer I like. Not while I'm there. We gonna make you wait online, okay? But no, take care of your customers because like the customers also take care of them. Also tip your bud tenders, okay?
Yes.
Tip your bud tenders.
Stupid little box in front.
Yeah, just do it. Like it doesn't matter if it's 5 cents, 1 cent. Like they'll be happy with anything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and it's like
They work hard.
They really do work hard. You know,
Yeah.
they standing on their feet all day
Yep.
long. Like
Yep.
you know, that's
That's a
hard.
tough-
You know,
retail is tough.
but they're doing it, and they're like, and they do it with a smile too. Like,
Yes.
it's a lot of people with some really dope personalities that work in dispensaries, and I think that is one of my favorite things about working in the field is like. There's a lot of interesting people.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of dope
Y'all
people
got
in
some
here.
wild folk working in the dispensary.
Yeah, we do.
But
They
people
wild.
get to be themselves.
Listen,
That's what people love about
they
cannabis. They get to be themselves. Isn't that so incredible?
But it go wrong sometimes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some stories?
No, you can't. You can't.
You got some stories?
Oh, no.
Well, you know we about to own a dispensary, so let me know. Fill me in.
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
No.
He don't want that.
Well.
he don't want that union work.
I think Corey is going to make sure we navigate that well.
No.
So so you're telling them to apply, but you know what is the typical trajectory that they should take? Like, is it like you go from bud tender to like give the steps in between?
It really depends on your experience. Like
Okay.
there are some higher level like positions that if you're an office manager, you could if you're good at making a schedule, you know, those type of things can be applied and transferred over into cannabis. So basic hierarchy is kind of like a bud tender, salesman, representative person, and then they are oversaw by like maybe like a lead cashier kind of person. It's kind of like a Forever 21 tier, and then there's like a salesperson or a supervisor or a assistant manager or senior assistant manager or a store manager or a general manager or a director. You know, there's
Okay.
different hierarchies.
levels.
There's HR
Okay.
managers, there's maintenance managers, there's operations managers. There's so many different, like even if
Okay.
you're into finance, if you're into IT, we have IT guys, we have you know, maintenance guys, janitors, you know, anything like drivers. We have drivers. We have delivery people.
Oh,
we
right,
we have consultants.
vertical.
We have pharmacists. We have like there's so many different things that you can do and jump into and like take from one place and apply it to cannabis. Especially if you're passionate about the industry. It's like you do meet a lot of people that are like, weed is life. But I get it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool plant.
Yeah.
Like, there's something on this earth that can make us all feel like this.
Yes. I love it.
Oh, it's fucking moon and stars.
All right. I'm trying to chill because it's like every episode it goes that way. And, you know, I feel like I'm influencing him.
We're going to go there. We're going to go there,
I'm influencing him.
Yeah, she
I'm
gets high
raising
and then
his
she goes straight
vibration.
to moon and stars and incense and what's your sign?
But that's why we're here.
Yes. All right. You don't know Jack. Boom.
I'm Jack.
We have some questions here from our wonderful young man, Jalen. This is a good one because a lot of people.
These are Jalen picks. Go ahead.
No, this one is good because I always see it in the gas station. I probably am going to say this wrong, but what is kratom? Is that how you say it? Kratom? What is kratom? And is it true that it is similar to opioids?
You got me beat. I do not know what kratom is.
No?
No.
No.
Oh, man.
You said you buy it in the gas station. No, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is.
You be seeing it in the gas station,
I
right,
see it all the
Jalen?
time in the gas station.
It's in the, okay, I know I'm not
no,
bugging.
it's
All
definitely
right.
a gas
It's
station.
in the gas station.
Yeah, I see it in all
Okay.
gas stations. It's like in all of them, and it's right there at the register.
Luckily,
Yeah.
It's like they're pushing it in you.
Yes.
Luckily, I live in New Jersey where we don't pump our own gas. You don't have to go inside the store.
You ain't never got a Red Bull?
Nah, not from the gas station.
Where you get your Red Bull from? Costco?
What the fuck is
What the
that?
fuck is he showing? Yo, Jalen,
What is that?
is that kratom? I don't know what that shit is.
It looks like brown sugar.
He's trying to make sure. He's like, no, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
no,
like
I
brown
don't know
sugar.
it. Is it like powder or something?
All right, ask ChatGPT.
Yeah. Let me. Thank
You love it so much. Let's see if it teaches us something on the spot, live. Corey stumped.
Yo, he got me.
I only see it in the gas
Listen,
station.
I have a good
we
batting
don't
average.
fucking
It's in the gas
know.
station.
Now we need to know.
I have a good batting average on this. You don't know, Jack? Oh, I close your shit. I have a good batting average on this shit, but he got me on that one.
Are you finding out for us?
All right, what's your next question? While Jalen asks an open ass question that he don't have an answer for.
Will the Delta 9 market ever affect the THC market?
No, because one, if it goes federally legal, they're gonna cut that Delta 9 shit out.
Big facts.
And also, listen, the cannabis companies can make anything happen if they decide to lobby on it. Mm-hmm. So if the 6 major MSOs in New Jersey all decide that they really upset about that and they start lobbying the state for it, you'll see that shit getting taken out of stores quick.
Yep.
That's it's an unregulated. It's a unregulated amount of THC for the state levels. They're just playing with the fact that one's the Delta 9, Delta 8.
Right.
But if you chemically test it tests as THCA, and if it's over the, I forget, point something of a percent, it's illegal.
Right.
It's just that I don't think it's making an imprint big enough for anyone to care on that level. I will tell people, be safe, though, because that's unregulated, it's untested.
Yeah.
You don't
Not
really
compliant.
know. It's not compliant. You don't know what you're smoking.
No.
So you should be careful about it. That's the main thing. I think the MSOs care more about the black market than the unregulated market.
Do research on whatever you're smoking. If, like, they can't tell you where it's from or you can't find out who grew it, I don't want to smoke it. Yeah. Like, that whole, like, fentanyl and lace stuff, like, that's real.
That's real shit.
You know? That's real.
Yeah.
And it's out here.
It's funny that you say that because, again, the internet, they always be like, oh, remember the last one that you said? And we put the clip out, and they were like, he's making that shit up. People are not putting fentanyl in weed. And it's like, no, it really is happening.
And we know someone.
It really, we know people.
I know.
You know someone?
I literally got a text yesterday. Someone I went to middle school with.
What?
Yeah.
What's the story?
Their weed was laced with fentanyl.
And so, okay, so hold on.
No, they're gone.
Yeah, see?
All right, but
No.
let's have this conversation. Because everyone's always saying, well, why would they want to kill their customers? What is the logic behind lacing it?
It's not them
They're
trying
not
to
trying to
kill
kill.
their customers.
They're just not scientists.
Yeah, it's
Fair, Corey, fair.
It's hard to grow good, clean weed, and that's what the MSOs promise. Is everything we are doing is regulated, is compliant. Everything it's tested, third party tested, and everything we do 100% of the time is on camera.
Yeah.
Everything we do.
Yeah.
So it's just like
always on camera.
Always. At every angle. Like imagine you had to do your job and there were like 300 cameras pointed at you always.
All day, yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
And
they track you when you walk through the building. A little box be following you down the hall.
Yeah. So
as a person that
Yeah,
sees
that's
it's just
true.
like, so you really gotta that's why I say like tip your bud tenders.
Yeah.
Okay. Like always, because they really do work hard. And there's a lot of times you want to slip. Imagine how many times like you having an off day, you having a bad hair day on camera all day. Like, you know,
Yeah.
It's so great what they do.
Yeah.
And how they serve everybody they serve. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Tip your bud tender.
Jalen, you figure out what this shit is? You
Yeah.
tell her?
Comment, like, subscribe.
Hit the button.
Do all
that
those
shit.
things.
Jalen be yelling at us. Ring the bell. Hit the button.
All right. We have the answer for you. Oh, God. I'm reading this live without proof in front.
Have fun.
Fuck. Kratom powder comes from the leaves of the kratom tree found in Southeast Asia. It contains active compounds that interact with opioid. I can't even say that word. What the fuck?
Opioid?
Receptors in the brain, producing effects similar to opioids. Why would anybody want to take that?
Because it's a cheap, easy way to maybe get high. I'm saying it sounds like
It says kratom is not regulated by the FDA and its safety. Okay, yes, it needs more research. Obviously, it's for pain relief and sedation and mood enhancement. So people really go to the gas station and buy this shit?
Listen, people used to buy Jamaican dick rock. So.
Excuse me?
And horny goat weed.
Wait, what? Jamaican what?
Dick rock.
They sold that where?
It was a rock you were supposed to. I don't want to get into all that.
At the gas station.
At the gas station, yeah.
Wait, you know about this too?
Yo, a lot of things being sold at the gas station. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee and Cannabis.
We still ain't got no fucking outro.
Sativa Poppy. Yo, give your Instagram real quick.
The Sativa Poppy. Thank you.
Yes. All right.
All
Till
one
next
word.
time. Peace.
Peace.